This week on Channel 8 News, we'll be looking at homecoming events at Northwest, the court-ordered subpoena of former President Trump, and more. Your Channel 8 News starts right now.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 8 News, the show where we provide news coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Katie Byrd.
And I'm Alexis Kuhnert. Before we get into this week's stories, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button for all the latest news and updates.
Former President Donald Trump officially subpoenaed Friday by the January 6th committee. The move is an effort to try and get Trump to sit down for a deposition under oath and answer questions about the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
Committee members arguing Trump played a central role in efforts to overturn the election. Jen Sullivan puts this historic moment into context and breaks down what the subpoena means for the former 45th president.
In a historic move, former President Donald Trump is officially subpoenaed Friday by the House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2020 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Earlier this month, the committee voted unanimously to subpoena the former 45th president, arguing he personally orchestrated the plan to overturn the election results.
The states got defrauded.
The subpoena reading, in short, you were at the center of the first and only effort by any U.S. president to overturn an election and obstruct the peaceful transition of power. The subpoena requires Trump to turn in documents pertaining to his communication that day by November 4th and appear for a deposition on or about November 14th. It's unclear, though, whether he will comply.
They really want to damage me so I can no longer go back to work for you.
The move paves the way for a court fight over whether Congress can force a former president to testify.
U.S. law is if you are subpoenaed by Congress, you're expected to come in and speak to us.
There is no Supreme Court ruling on whether Congress can compel a former president to testify to Congress, which is why this could cause a legal battle.
Presidents have been both requested and subpoenaed to appear before Congress in the past, but these circumstances are different because of the historic nature of former President Trump's action.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Again, that was Jen Sullivan with CNN. And in other news, many of the students and faculty here at Northwest love their Chick-fil-A, just like teenagers across the U.S.
A recent Piper Sandler survey ranked Chick-fil-A as Gen Z's top restaurant, with 15% of respondents listing it as their favorite choice. Starbucks came in second at 12% of teens, followed by Chipotle 7% and McDonald's 6%.
The company hasn't won everybody over, though. The chain's support for anti-LGBTQ organizations and its opposition to same-sex marriage has been at the center of political debates and calls for boycotts. Food industry research firm Technomic found that Chick-fil-A had 2,730 outlets and hit nearly $16 billion in sales at 2021. Switching over to some more local news, the Northwest Horsemen's Association has started a petition to save the Edward Phillips Memorial Arena from being sold. The arena was donated 27 years ago by the widowed wife Holly. The arena was used as a way to bring in revenue from all the rodeos that were hosted there in years past. Today, however, the arena is mainly used to board horses and hold meetings for the Northwest Horsemen's Association. This sports club meets every Tuesday and Thursday at the arena to ride horses, with a business meeting once a month. It's an opportunity for students who aren't experienced in riding horses to gain confidence in themselves.
Many of the organization's members and alumni have shared their views on this issue and how important the arena is to them. Former Horsemen's Association member and Northwest alumni Cody Haas stated, "I enjoyed all that the University Barn had to offer, and those experiences have led me to be able to share those equine experiences with troubled teens today. Without my ability to utilize the equine setup the university had, I wouldn't be as prepared for my job I hold today as farm and ranch director at a boys ranch for troubled teens." For more information on this story, be sure to click on the link in the description below to read more about it in the Northwest Missourian. Also, if you are interested in signing the petition, be sure to click on the link down below.
When we return, we'll be kicking it over to the Bearcat Update with Skyler Stamps. Don't go away.
Northwest Tower Yearbook has dedicated over a century to documenting life on campus and in the Maryville community. The award-winning organization has numerous pacemaker awards and a spot in the Associated Collegiate Press Hall of Fame. Learn more about Tower at the handles below.
Out of 7 billion people, each one of them has a different story.
We share our stories with family and friends.
We tell our stories through laughter and tears.
We create our stories with talents and strengths.
We survive our stories of hardships and grief.
And throughout everything we live through, we are staying for the stories.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Katie Byrd.
And I'm Alexis Kuhnert. Before we continue the news, we're going to kick it over to Bearcat Update with Skyler Stamps.
Thanks, ladies. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm your host, Skyler Stamps. It was a busy week for Bearcat sports and the campus of Northwest during homecoming last week. The Bearcat volleyball team picked up 2 wins while the football team won on Saturday. Last Sunday, I went to the Bearcat pitch to capture the soccer team's action against Missouri Southern. The Northwest women's soccer team was back at home on the Bearcat pitch last Sunday as they battled with the Hillcats of Rogers State. Coming into this one, the Bearcats boasted a 6-3 MIAA record compared to the Hillcats with only 1 conference win. However, the lone win Hillcats were not to be outdone in this one. The game was kicked off and we were underway. The game started with both teams playing exceptional defense and Northwest controlling the ball for a majority of the half. Though both teams had chances at the net, neither was able to score a goal. The score remained 0-0 at the half. After halftime, both teams' offenses looked much better and were able to get quality shots on goal. At the 56-minute mark, Sophie Sissel is assisted by Kaylee Rock to get the Bearcats' first goal of the day. Just 7 minutes later, Adele Gore would net her 3rd goal of the season as Kaylee Rock records her 2nd assist of the day to lead 2-0. With 10 minutes left in the game, the Hillcats' Libby Doyle scores on the penalty kick to get Rogers State within 1. The score would remain the same as the final horn sounded as the Bearcats took the win 2-1. After the game, I talked with junior forward Kaylee Rock. Over the past 2 weeks, Rock has set school records in both points and goals scored. She talked on those accomplishments and what pushes her to get better every day.
I figure might as well, if I have 1 or 2 seasons left with some really great players, to just give it everything I have and leave everything out on the field and just have no regrets. So I've just been having that mindset of playing my hardest as long as I'm here and with the girls that I'm here with.
Rock also touched on how the team is preparing for their last week of regular season play.
I already played both teams this year already, so looking back at what we could have done better, what we need to be aware of, and what we can take advantage of.
On Friday, the soccer team defeated Missouri Southern 3-0. The team will close out regular season MIAA play this Sunday. As we head from the pitch to the turf, the football game at Bearcat Stadium was the highlight of the homecoming activities for many. Our Jack Dunning has the game recap.
Last week was the homecoming game for our Bearcats, and they came to play. The Bearcat defense was truly dominant, allowing negative 16 total rushing yards and only 39 total passing yards. They also had an interception in the first quarter. The offense was also quite good, having 485 total yards and putting up 36 points. And overall, the Bearcats had the ball for almost 38 minutes of the game's 60. At Northwest, there is a tradition of one player winning the Don Black Award, which is essentially the MVP award for the homecoming game. Wide receiver Kayshawn Griffin ended up winning this award with 200 all-purpose yards and a touchdown. The Bearcats run the ball most of the time, and the homecoming game was no different. They ran the ball 48 times on Saturday while only throwing it 36. But that didn't stop Griffin from making an impact in this game. He had 4 catches for 86 yards, including a nice touchdown grab and a third down check down he turned into a 42-yard catch. However, he made his biggest impact on punt returns. He returned 3 punts for 114 yards with a long of 64. With that being said, let's break down some of his best plays. This was his best return of the day. The punter over-punted his coverage, and Griffin took advantage. He read his blocks really well, then uses his speed to get all the way to the red zone on a 64-yard return.
15-yard line near the right numbers. Now up the middle he goes, left side to the 35, between the hashes to midfield. Scrambles over to the right side to the 30-yard line, to the 20, and he is hit.
On this next play, he is a corner route against a corner with outside leverage. He keeps his hips low, uses a little jab step inside combined with his low hips in order to win that outside. He then keeps both of his feet in bounds in order to score a 15-yard touchdown. On this last play, it's third down, and he has a drag route. He catches the ball, gets upfield, past the first defender, keeps his feet in bounds, and makes another guy miss on his way to a 42-yard reception. He was the key to this offense's success and showed that he can be a dominant wide receiver for the rest of the season. With Bearcat Update, this has been Jack Dunning.
The Bearcat football team will be on the road next week before capping off the regular season on November 5th against Missouri Southern at Bearcat Stadium. That's all the time we have here for Bearcat Update. Be sure to tune in next week to stay connected to all things Bearcat sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Skyler. After the break, we'll be looking at the many talented acts within this year's Northwest Homecoming Variety Show and how students spice up their lives by creating their own unique blend of spices. Don't go away.
Northwest Missouri State University's 4 student media outlets, KNWT Television, KZLX LPFM, the Northwest Missourian, and Tower Yearbook, have been ranked among the top in the nation for the College Media Association Pinnacle Awards. The Northwest Student Media Department takes pride in ensuring students are up to date on the latest technology, equipment, industry secrets, and offers profession-based learning experiences from day one. To support Northwest Student Media, check out our content on all of our platforms.
I'm Garrett Evans.
And I'm Austin Claypool.
We're hosts on Gen 2, your favorite show for all things gaming and really tech related.
You should come check us out. Our episodes post every Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Katie Byrd.
And I'm Alexis Kuhnert. Northwest's annual Homecoming Variety Show hosts a variety of fun student-led performances. I covered this year's event and got to speak with some of the people involved. Let's check it out. Every year during Homecoming Week, students participate in the variety show, which includes dances, singing, skits, and more. The variety show took place last Thursday in the Charles Johnson Theater at the Ron Housen Center for the Performing Arts. The variety show is one of the many events that take place in Homecoming Week. During the variety show, Greek life comes together to present their skits, and other students will perform musical acts to an audience of students and judges. I spoke with Zachary Scott and Anna Claire Matz, students here at Northwest, to gather their thoughts on the show.
It was the solo acts that were just really cool. My favorite was Quattro. I plan on attending the homecoming game and the homecoming parade, mostly the parade. I got a few friends in it from Sigma Society and overall.
I came to the variety show because some of my friends were in the skits and also on homecoming court, and so I really wanted to see them up on stage and performing, and loved all of the skits. I was laughing out loud to every single one of them. I loved every minute of it, and the singing. Being a Bearcat is having a family and just tons of people around you constantly who love and are passionate about all the same things and just succeeding all together and supporting each other.
Riley Mulder and DJ Ross hosted the show together, introducing dances, skits, and musical performances. The Bearcat Steppers and Dance Company brought fun dances alive to keep the audience engaged. The School of Agriculture put on a skit called the Match Game Collegiate Edition. Sororities and fraternities came together to act out funny skits as well, such as Sigma Kappa and Phi Sigma Kappa, who did Escaping Mazingo, and Phi Mu and Sig Tau Gamma, who did Mystery on 4th Street. At the end of the night, Homecoming King and Queen were announced, Foster Huggins and Hadley Douglas. For Stories That Matter to You, this has been Alexis Kuhnert of Channel 8 News.
With October being Hispanic Heritage Month, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion is hosting many different events centered around Latin culture.
Let's see how an event this week taught Northwest students about different foods and spices.
On Thursday, October 20th, the Northwest Diversity and Inclusion Office hosted the Spice It Up event at the Union for students to create their own unique blend of spices. This event is one of many that the office is having during Hispanic Heritage Month. I had the opportunity to speak with the Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator at the event.
My name is Brittany Morgan Roberts, and I'm the Coordinator of Diversity and Inclusion here for campus. But right now we're doing Spice It Up, which is his two famous seasoning blends, which is spiced cocoa, and then he has his smoky mac and cheese. So they're just blends of different seasonings and spices, different spices to create a seasoning. And it's more based in the Latinx culture, like what you will get if you were in a more of a Hispanic area. So it's really nice to be able to have that different culture, to be able to experience it. The spices that he has over there, it's like, oh, I would never know to put these together and to make this amazing combination. So just coming to gain more knowledge, and it helps you to enhance yourself as well, and utilizing that knowledge base in your everyday life. Come hang out in the ODI office. We're in the Union on the second floor. Come in there, hear people's experiences. Even if you may not believe in it, understand that diversity of thought. Our goal in the office is to really get people through this idea of it's okay to have conversations, have differences, different perspectives. It's about learning, understanding, and being able to have those tough conversations in everyday life and not be afraid to not touch things or, oh, I can't say that. Learn and grow.
I also spoke with an event participant to learn about their experience.
But I want to go into more of the culinary field anyways, so it kind of incorporates art with food, which is obviously everybody likes food. So just even if you miss the event, I would suggest anybody really just trying to tinker into making spice mixes on their own. You know, college life, it's like you get a lot of bland food, and so even just adding a little bit of a spice mix really adds up the oomph of everything.
This event was a great way for students to celebrate Hispanic heritage and learn more about new spices. Until next time, I'm Katie Byrd with Channel 8 News.
Well, that is all the time we have here at Channel 8 News, but before we go, be sure to click on the links below to rewatch certain sections of our show over all the events here at Northwest we've mentioned in this episode.
We also want to hear from you guys, so leave a comment below on these stories. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for all the latest news and updates, as well as our other content right here on our YouTube page at KNWT TV. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Katie Byrd.
I'm Alexis Kuhnert.
And have a great night.